This is part of my 30-day video game review challenge. Today's theme, a game in which you learn something. In today's review, the Oregon Trail. I'll be playing the 1992 version. Let's get right into it. Just a quick reminder, please subscribe to my channel. That's going to put you in my contest for a Super Nintendo Classic Edition. I'll be giving it away in early July. Let's get into the review. So first things first, I'm not going to do a full-blown history or synopsis of the story. Oregon Trail is Oregon Trail. It's edutainment at best. And yes, it does educate you about the Oregon Trail and the perils of the trail, if you will. But man, oh man, I have so many good memories of this game. Playing it in elementary school, begging my computer teacher to let us play this game. Can you really review Oregon Trail? I mean, it's not really a video game. It's more of a text adventure. Yes, there's a screen, but you could play the game without the screen. It can be just a text adventure, if you will. And it's almost like it's pure chance. Yes, there is the hunting scene in the quote-unquote last level of the game where you navigate your wagon down a river. That's a lot of fun. This game's more about survival, being able to trade, manage resources, and also when should I hunt versus when I shouldn't hunt. The game also does a really nice job of letting you make choices. There's a risk-reward factor, if you will. Do I take the shortcut or do I go to the fort? Do I ford the wagon over the river, or do I hire a ferry? There's a lot of good choices, especially if you're a young child. You have to take into consideration if you want to survive and get the best score in Oregon Trail. You also have the choice of choosing an occupation at the beginning of the game. Again, there's risk-reward factor there. I usually go with the doctor or the banker. The doctor can heal people on the trail, and then also the banker has more money at the beginning of the game. But it just depends on how you like to play. If you go with the carpenter can repair the wagon as you go. And if you have like a breakdown of a wheel or an axle, he can fix it. The game also gives you control of how fast you want to push your oxen and your wagon. Also, if you want to control the rations, you can do that as well. But it's going to affect your health. And health is a big part of this game, and trying to make sure everyone survives in your party. And people can die, especially of dysentery or snake bites. It's kind of crazy how fast they'll die if you don't rest your party or if you don't change the pace of your oxen. Also, the rations, if you're running low, you're gonna have to ration how much food you're feeding to your party. I highly recommend that you play this game. There are actually newer versions of the Oregon Trail and actually older versions too. You can kind of go through the entire history of the game if you want to. This is the version I played as a kid, and I'll be talking about that in a minute. I recommend that you play this on an emulator. I don't recommend tracking down the original CD-ROM disc. It's gonna be a hassle. And most laptops and computers today don't even have a CD-ROM drive. So it's going to be very difficult to play the original software. And I'm actually playing this on an emulator online, classicreload.com. I highly recommend it. There's a lot of freeware, abandonware on the website that you can play. And I share Classic Reload with my 5th grade summer school class that I'm privileged to teach. I get to teach a video game history class, and I get to bring in old video games, and this is one of the websites that I share with my kids, and I tell them they have to play Oregon Trail, this version. And they beg for it just like I begged for it back in elementary school. I'll leave a link in the description below for the website. I highly recommend it. It's a lot of fun, a lot of nostalgia, and the emulation is done very well. Now I'm going to talk about my memories with this game when I played it in elementary school. I played this on an Apple II computer. I wish I had an Apple II computer, the old school, it's all in one. And that mouse, oh man, there's so many great memories. We played this game. There was this really strange typing game. It was like a little gnome. And then there was a rabbit game. It was kind of a reading game. And I also remember playing this mouse game where you learned how to use a mouse, where you'd go under C and it'd tell you to click on certain things. I cannot find that for the life of me. I have searched all over the internet. I don't know the name of that particular game. It was built into the software. I know it was, but I've been on the search for that. If you guys can help me out with that search, I would be thrilled and pleased to do a review of that particular little mouse game. You go underwater and you click on things. It's an ocean theme and there's a diver. Let me know in the comments below if you guys can come up with anything, if you have any suggestions of where to look, where I can find it. Again, I don't have an original Apple II computer. Now back to my original little nostalgia trip. We would have to finish these little typing drills and these little reading games. But after we got done with those drills and the reading games, we had to ask our teacher, can we play Oregon Trail? And then it was game on. I never was able to finish a full playthrough because the time we had in the computer lab was very limited. But man, when we did get to play it, it was so much fun. And I gotta say, the hunting sections of the game, that's what made this version of Oregon Trail so special. Yeah, you love the diseases, dysentery and the snake bites and such, but that hunting section, you probably spent a lot of your time playing in that little hunting screen where you can shoot buffaloes, bears, rabbits, and all kinds of things. And if you think about it, this was my first RPG. This is my first adventure game. And I loved going on that trail and exploring and seeing the landmarks and exploring the forts, trading with people, managing my resources, etc. It was so much fun. I played this game before I played The Legend of Zelda, Link to the Past, or any Final Fantasy game. The last memory I want to share when I played this game as a kid, we loved trying to die as fast as we could. We would set the pace to the fastest you can go, and we set the rations to the least amount of food that they could have. We wouldn't hunt. We wouldn't give them any food at the beginning, and the bare minimum oxen and the bare minimum supplies. And it was kind of a crapshoot. It was always random when people would get sick or hurt or anything like that. But without fail, every time our parties died. My group usually lasted about a month. It's kind of hard to do, but to me, it was just kind of this game within a game experience as a kid. Now, what did I learn from Oregon Trail other than how to kill my party really quick? Well, there's a lot of history here, and there's also a lot of reading. So we were reading without even knowing it. We're playing the game, but we're reading up on these historical landmarks, these historical spots, and you're learning as you're playing. That's a good way to trick your brain, especially if you're a young kid. Also, one thing that this game does really well is critical thinking skills. And should I go this way? Should I conserve my ammo? Should I conserve my rations? Etc. It's going to help you develop your decision-making process and critical thinking processes without even realizing it. And those are the best games, when they kind of trick you into learning. Now, I could tell when I was playing a learning game and when I was playing a fun game. To me, Oregon Trail was a ton of fun as a kid. It's still a lot of fun. I played through the entire trail just for kicks and giggles for this video. And oh man, so many memories and just a lot of fun. And I actually had to think, what did I want to do with my resources? Did I want to cross the river a certain way, etc.? So it still made me think just a little bit. I highly recommend that you play Oregon Trail. Let me know if you played Oregon Trail in school and let me know which version you played. Do you collect the Oregon Trail games? I do loosely, but again, it's really hard to play the software on current PCs and laptops. One last question I'll leave you guys with. Let me know a game where you learned something. I actually had a hard time picking this particular game because I actually thought about some Final Fantasy games that I played as a kid. That helped me drastically with reading. I hated to read as a kid, and Final Fantasy got me reading. Just a quick reminder, please subscribe to my channel. I'm giving away a Super Nintendo Classic Edition early in July, and all you have to do is subscribe to me. Alright guys, well thank you so much for checking out my review of the Oregon Trail, the 1992 version, and have a great rest of your day.